Hi, welcome to the Are You Ready for This podcast featuring Freshman 15. I am Davey Fortner. I sing lead vocals and play guitar in said band, Freshman 15.
I caught a gnat. Hi, I'm Davey, and I play bass in the band. I also do backup vocals, but I'm a part of this podcast as well. So I guess you could say that I do that too.
It is. You do a lot of things, if I'm honest.
None
Um,
of them are good, but you're getting through life, man. You could do
but,
it.
but you sure do try, and we applaud you for that
It's true.
all the time.
It's true. I do get applauded a lot. Sometimes I'm just walking down the street and people are just like,
Well, they don't do it at our shows, so maybe we should just have you strut across the stage and people will give you the old.
whatever it takes, right? Go for the gold.
So we were trying to make this thing for a long time, and we were trying to talk about what we should do. We don't want to come in here and just run our yaps about nothing, which we're
Which
probably going to end up doing anyway.
we would be really good at it.
So I think what we're going to do, at least for now, is agree on an album and tackle it like we're going to do with today's album, which we'll talk about in a second. And sometimes I think it would be fun if I come up with an album that Davey hasn't heard and show him, and he can tell me his thoughts on that album, and same vice versa. An album that I haven't heard, we don't listen to the same stuff 100%. I would love to hear the other stuff that I might not know that Davey knows, and
Contrary to
I can
popular
give him
belief.
my thoughts.
Yeah, we don't actually listen to the exact same things. We might both look somewhat like blonde, people with blue eyes and both be named Davy, but we have different brains.
True. Like there's like I know you are more into like a lot of jazz, like John Mayer, and even deeper than that stuff. I don't even know that I can't even say. So,
Well, it'll be
and
a
I listen to a
fail.
lot of like metal, which
Yeah.
I'm sure that you don't dabble in too much. You do like some of it, but
Well, yeah, metal's a weird one for me because like certain bands like A Day to Remember, I prefer their metal stuff. It sounds more honest and sincere to me. But then there's other things that I don't really like. So I don't know. I like things that I like. I don't know what it is or isn't, but this will be fun to explore as we do these things and share them with each other because it'll be a good way for us to maybe I was saying it to my wife earlier. I get to be critical with intention now instead of just being that old
Ooh.
man who is like being a critic for no reason, just like I don't like this.
Right. I like that. Critical with
So,
intention. That's
yeah.
very cool.
Maybe that's a
And
new
I don't
song.
think I would bring in like a Day to Remember album, like the new one, and be like, listen to this, because you're gonna have the same thought. You're like, I
I
don't
liked
like
it.
this.
I
I,
liked the new
no,
album.
I do. Actually, I do too. I love their new album. I think it's great. Um,
Weird, right? I finally got on board. It took them 20 years.
which is bananas because it sounds just like their other stuff in a good way.
Yeah. So the other thing we can do is not only just sharing new albums that we haven't heard, but occasionally we're going to throw in an album that not only have we both heard, but you guys have probably heard too. And the reason we want to do that is because we want it to be fun for everybody. We want to be able to show you some new stuff that maybe you haven't heard, but we also want to be able to have these times where we can all, comment on an album that's, a little bit more renowned in the scene for what it's done and how it's, had success.
Right. And the today's album is Panic at the Disco's debut album, A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. So I'm gonna be completely honest. When this album came out, I hated it.
And tell them why.
Well, have I told you this before? You're saying that.
I feel like I know, but maybe not. Go ahead.
Okay, it's because I don't think I could admit this at the time. It was straight jealousy. They were toddlers when they recorded and wrote this album. I was intimidated by the songwriting. I was intimidated. They were all beautiful. I was just intimidated by everything this band was. And I guess I didn't quite get it at the time either because it was so eclectic. It wasn't pop punk by any means, which was my like bread and butter. I was just intimidated by the whole thing. So my girlfriend at the time loved them. And I would just be like, dude, will you stop with this? Like, I
Maybe
get it. You like the band.
maybe that's where it comes from. That jealousy. It was like, oh, she likes this, but I want her to like me. Why
Right.
isn't she giving me this
What
attention?
about my band?
How am I
Do you?
supposed to keep up? Were you already playing and examine at that time?
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. I get
But
that.
I
That was
understand why she didn't listen to us because of the band name mainly. Rough.
checks out. Okay,
Rough.
so you mentioned that it was not pop punk, which is something I actually wanted to kind of jump on too. I loved this right away because it was so unique. It was so out of left field. It fit in the mold of, what pop punk could be. It had shades of that. A little bit Fall Out Boy-ish, which was really just kind of starting to take off itself. At times it was kind of hard to tell the difference if you were still new to it. But it stuck out as something really unique and special.
Well, Pete
And
once signed him. I'm sure you know that, right?
Pete did.
Yeah.
I thought
They,
Fueled By did. I didn't know Pete ran Fueled By, or maybe he was an A&R for him or something.
yeah, I think so. They sent Pete a bunch of demos and Pete just automatically loved it.
Cool.
And so they hadn't played a show even when they were signed. They hadn't played a show yet.
Gotcha. Well, before we get into the actual album, I guess I can bring this up now because of that. So the uniqueness was so special to me. It was, I mean, don't change a good thing. If you have, they say, as a singer, if somebody gives you a compliment, oh, you sound just like so and so, that's not really a compliment. But when somebody says, wow, I've never heard a voice like yours, as long as you can at least halfway carry a tune in a bucket, that's the best compliment you could ever receive because that unique quality is what makes you stand out. You got people like Billy Joe who just have this unique voice, Tom DeLonge, Tom DeLonge. But anyway, you know, they had this special thing going. And then right after that, I don't know if they got scared or wanted to fit a certain mold, but 9 in the afternoon for me was a little bit of a bummer because it went for a sound that I think a few people had already heard before, and it's the Beatles. It's
Never heard
already
of
been
them.
it's already been done, and it's not going to be topped. So it was for me, it was a letdown. But they kind of got back to it, and I know we're not going into those other albums at this time.
Oh, I
Um,
totally plan to
at this time, or just
at this
eventually.
time because I don't think we're gonna. I don't think we're gonna dive in to Pretty Odd because I think you've already, you don't like that album. You made that very clear. So there's no change in your mind. You know what it sounds like.
I'm not a Beatles fan either, so it was going to be hard to get me on that.
And I can't knock that either. I never really listened to the big songs, and I never really listened to them until I was sick in the hospital. I did a deep discog dive on so many bands, and the Beatles was one of them. And I found a new appreciation for them. I think they're great. They're great songwriters, and they didn't really have anybody to look to, really, on how to be a band and write songs. And they started changing later in their career to this wild like psychedelic stuff, and they did their own thing.
Yeah.
But to Pretty Odd.
Fall Out Boy did that too. Got
What do
into
you mean?
got into
Oh,
weird stuff and started being weird. So,
right. And that's one band I couldn't
well,
keep.
that's my point. Changing for the sake of changing isn't always a great thing. Brand new, for example. We're not going into that right now, but you get my point. It's like, yeah,
I
you
do.
can change your stuff, but if you got something really beautiful, really special, keep it. And like I said, they did come back. Panic at the Disco did kind of come back to that similar sound again, especially with that Jennifer's Body song, New Perspective.
New Perspective. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, so good.
It's amazing. Yeah. And the album Vices and Virtues was after Ryan Ross left. They did. And yeah, they kind of had a return to form there. But I did not like Pretty Odd when it came out either.
Okay.
Like you said, I just thought it was like the Beatles have already done it. In the last, I don't know, decade or so, I've really grown to love that album. I would go as far to saying I think it's kind of a masterpiece. I think
I
some of
guess
the
I'll have to go back
stuff
and listen.
they were doing is so gnarly, on Pretty Odd. And all that was kind of Ryan Ross, from what I know, from what I've learned. If this is wrong, do not crucify me. It's because Ryan Ross hated the scene. He kind of rejected that and felt they didn't want to be a part of that thing, which is bananas to me because even in one of the songs on here, like Make Us Sit, Make Us Hip, Make Us Scene, he made his bed. Like you know exactly what the lyrics and everything you're trying, what you're, what audience you were kind of going for there.
Well, do we want to go just kind of haphazardly at this, or do you want to get it track by track? Because I actually have some thoughts on that too that might be a good interchange between us.
Uh, sure, you can, yeah, whatever you're thinking. Shoot.
Well, how about we just start from the beginning then? And once we get there, we'll bring that thought back up.
Okay, so here we are. We are listening to A Fever You Can't Sput Out. We're
Not
starting with
literally. We already did listen to it. You're just getting the commentary,
yes.
you
Yeah, I
jerks.
listened to it many times today. So, all right. So track one, introduction. I don't really
Okay.
have much on this. It's like, yeah, there sounds like a radio,
Yeah.
and it's setting up the first half of the album, which the album is separated into two parts. You got the dance side, which is first, and then the more burlesque, real instruments and real um, sounding
Yep.
second side.
I actually had a comment that I wrote down about that second half, and I was like, it's very interesting. This latter half gets a little bit kind of a blend between. Hold on, how did I have it? How did I have it? I'm looking at my notes here. Some of the songs, this is going to sound wild, but just because of the acoustic quality of it, a bluesgrass quality mixed with big band.
Big band is yeah, absolutely.
So,
Bluegrass?
well, just I mean, when I get to that song, the intro, maybe you'll kind of understand a little bit what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But so the intro for me, I think, I'm the kind of person that I don't love. I'm not a channel happy person. I want to listen to an entire album.
Yeah,
If an
absolutely.
album is good, even if there's songs that are a little bit weaker or whatever, I like the highs and the lows, the dips, the emotion of it. It feels like you're on a ride with the artist.
Right.
And I think it sets it up really well because as we go in, if you had any more thoughts on the introduction, that's fine. But as we go into the opening, I guess, actual track, the only difference between Martyrdom and Suicide,
Is press coverage.
thank you, because it was cut off there. I couldn't read the rest. I didn't do my homework. This is our second podcast. We'll get better. But he starts off literally saying, I'm the narrator, and this is just the prologue.
Yeah.
I never noticed before this idea of setting up the theme of the album because one of the coolest things it's for me, I'm not a huge lyric person. I connect to a song based on the emotion of the music. If it makes me feel excited or sad or whatever I'm in that moment. Lyrics usually come later. I've never given them a fair shake on their lyric content, and man, Brendan is a genius.
Well, Ryan Ross writes the lyrics.
Oh, in this album, all of
Yeah,
them?
and pretty odd.
Okay, well, still
Ryan Ross.
fantastic lyrics. Just
And that's
really, really
why
well.
the albums after that they lost something. They
Okay,
lost that weird quality that Ryan Ross brought to the table.
okay. I can see that. I didn't know that. That's cool to know. So
Yeah.
he says then, what does he say? How is it worded? I aim to be your eyes, trophy boys and trophy wives. So he's saying, I'm the narrator and I'm going to aim to be the eyes for the things that you've seen. This is how I interpreted it. The things that you've seen in your life, whether it's being in a hospital or suffering from these things and medication and, pills or whatever, to seeing a wedding that you know is doomed or a shotgun wedding. It was like he was setting up this story and I never really noticed the theme unless I'm just overreaching there. But that's what it felt like to me.
I mean, that seems yeah. I mean, actually I didn't pick up on that either. I think that is cool. I never like this so see, this is why I was so jealous of them back in the day. This
But
is
you didn't even
insane
know. You didn't even know
that
how
a
jealous.
child wrote this. And I brought this up on the song club I did last night. Like I love full albums. It's a cohesive and complete thought. And this album is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
Um, the name of the song is from a book. Chuck Palahniuk. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. Palahniuk. It's from Survivor. It's a quote from that particular novel.
What
This
the only difference that thing
yeah, it's from that novel, and
is the
a lot
press.
of this
Okay.
comes from this cat's books. Ryan Ross apparently reads a lot of Chuck Palahniuk.
Palahniuk. I don't know. It sounds like it would be French.
Palahniuk.
Good enough.
I should have looked up pronunciation before I butchered it six
Nah.
times.
Second episode, we get a grace period.
So, so what's cool about this song is right in the middle of it, it's all like electric guitar and stuff. Until the bridge, it just stops. It's like there's that
So
cool techno thing.
first time you heard it, what was your thought? That there, without bias or judgment. I know you hated them, but what
I
went
think
through your
my was
head?
like, what? Literally, I think it's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then,
That was to me, it stood out as like, this is so cool. I've never heard this before. Because there's an AFI song on Sing the Sorrow
yeah.
that does this. The second verse is kind of this disco-y breakdown with screaming over it. Oh, I love it. So it was cool to hear that. And it was like, oh, this
And I
is
was
kind of
talking to you about this the other day. When the chorus comes out back in, the last chorus, what happens that I never noticed until listening to the remaster is that that techno beat is still playing over that last chorus. I swear to shake it up if you swear to listen.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man. And then the ending of this song.
I was gonna go there. I hope you're talking about the same thing. Go ahead.
La da 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 da.
Ah, ah, ah,
Um,
ah.
See,
Yep.
that's the thing. What I
No.
think is so cool about that, they could have easily digitally manipulated that.
Hmm.
He does it with just, he goes, literally
Right.
with his voice. And
It
I think that's an odd choice, but so cool. I
it's
appreciate that.
it's way cool for two reasons. One, because it was unique enough to where I don't know if everybody else did, but I wanted to be able to do it as good as him. And I couldn't at first. It was very hard to make my voice stutter that way.
So
And
staccato.
and because it was also like the other song that did the exact same thing that we also all tried to do with Disturb. Oh,
Oh,
you know what I mean? I,
yeah.
I know obviously that's a very different genre, a little bit butt rocky, but it's just cool because it's like, oh, a little vocal trick that I want to see if I can do. I mean, I know not everybody's a singer, but it's fun to apply those things.
And the harmony, yeah, absolutely. And the harmony on your
Oh
eyes
yeah,
is beautiful. I think this is a killer way. Oh, this is a killer opening track and really it's like a mission statement. And I think it's done very well. I love this.
absolutely, absolutely. Um, so you want to go into track two then?
Yeah, London Beckon songs
About money,
about what's the whole
written
thing
by
you see?
I don't know. Hold on, London Beacon songs about money, written by
By machines.
machines.
Um, yeah, this is just mainly a kind of continuation on
Well, hold
that.
on. Let's take a moment right here, just while we're at it, because we're clearly struggling with these song titles. This was a weird time in musical history where the goal was write a title that has nothing to do with anything in the song. Davey and I were discussing earlier, how are we going to remember what part happened in what song? Because most songs, usually the chorus, the hook, is what the title is because it's catchy and it helps you connect the things. And you're like, oh, what was that song I heard where it said, whatever, and then you can go look it up. This was just a lawless time for music. And you said you didn't do it, but a band that I had started in high school with my friends, we wanted to have a song called "Hold My Hand While We Walk Through This Graveyard with Friendly Zombies." Yep. And then we had another one that we called "Your Hair is Tangled Because You Don't Use Conditioner."
Wow. Yeah,
So,
I never got into that, but I know like Fall Out Boy, Mike Kim, and there was a big meme that was going around. It's like emo songs used to write the most heartfelt, gut-wrenching lyrics, and the song will be called "Our Jet Skis Are Not Affordable Because They're on Loan at the Recent." Like it just this whole
yeah.
thing, and that was way funnier because I just butchered that.
No, that's
But
fine.
yeah, the song names were bananas back then.
Nothing wrong with that. It was a beautiful thing.
Um, yeah,
So,
so stop, stalling, make it. This is the one that's talking about make us hit, make us hit, make us
right,
scene.
right. So you had brought up your part earlier about they kind of knew what they were getting into. But when you really look at the lyrics, at least what I saw, is it's kind of like this thing because they even say, "It's time for us to take a chance. Panic, meet the press." This is their
So
this is their moment where they're saying, "We don't really know how this is going to be received. We know what they want from us." The chorus, "Well, we're just a wet dream for the webzine. Make us hit, make us hip, make us seen." He was saying, at least it seems like this is what they're saying we are. We're putting ourselves out there, but they're going to call us whatever they're going to call us. We know that they just want us because we look good, because we fit the mold, we're in this scene. That's what it sounded like to me. So it didn't sound as much like he knew what he was getting into as he was kind of foreshadowing the fact that he's already annoyed by it,
yeah,
that you're telling me to be a certain way.
yeah, and yeah, I don't think he liked that to begin with. I don't know. He, I don't know. Ryan Ross is an odd cat. He's we haven't
Would
heard
you
from him
say
in
would you say
decades.
he's pretty odd?
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this song, I don't really have much to say. I think it's great. And the coming out and just like being like you just
Oh,
said,
good for them.
it's yeah, like to have that kind of balls. Oh, nice. Double nice. You're crushing it. Yeah, with that kind of balls, like I don't know, Panic Meet the Press.
It's cool. It's a great
He's
line.
already shortening their band name to panic, just
Because,
like call
cause,
ourselves panic.
yeah, because well, yeah, that's fair. Because he says, like I said, make us hip, make us hip, make a scene, or make us scene, or shrug us off your shoulders. Don't approve a single word that we wrote down. And I believe he says something like, to find out if we're, oh, there it is. In the bridge, well, I think it's the bridge. Well, keep quiet, let us sing like the doves, then decide if it's done with purpose or lack thereof. Right?
Dude,
Yeah, so he's basically saying it's like we don't know what you're gonna see when you look at us. Are we just some flash in the pan, or do we actually have substance?
right.
Because what's even the one of the early lyrics he says, start talking a sensationalist. Oh, he's slightly clever, just to a certain extent.
Right.
So it's like they're noticing he's good, but it's like they're still gonna accuse him. Yeah, he's just some pop kid, you know.
Right.
It's
And the
clever.
bridge, I think, is so cool. Just for the record, the weather today has been slightly sarcastic with a good chance of A, indifference, or B, disinterest of what the critics say. I don't know how to write like that, where you're saying you rhyme it with A, and then it's the beginning of the next thought, A, uh, in whatever, disinterest, and B, disinterest. I don't know, man. It's just really good.
It's incredible. And then the actual bridge where it goes to like a techno thing again, but this time it's got that kind of like a blown out
Oh,
speaker sound.
want to know a fun fact?
Well, always.
Did I ever told you this? That's exactly
Ha-
what I
Have I
wanted.
told you this? Have I told you this?
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? Are you ready for this? Heyo. The the bridge. Are you ready for this? This is what
Okay.
I wanted. I wanted this exact sound. John DeClario wasn't a big fan of it. He's like, that doesn't sound well. I mean, I'll give you some like big reverb. I'll make it sound big, but I don't think that'll be a good choice. And I'm like, all right.
Do you realize though that if we would have done that, we probably wouldn't have had the threes of fans that we have today?
That's right. We might have been successful if we would have.
Oh, I was gonna say we'd be worse.
Yeah, so this song rips, just another banger.
Yeah, man. So want to go into nails for breakfast, tacks for snacks?
Yes. So this is by far my least favorite track on this
Really?
album.
Hmm.
I don't hate it. It's definitely listenable, but it's about rumored to be about Ryan Ross's dad. He
Okay.
battled with alcoholism. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not the auto tune. I love a lot of songs with like
See, I wrote down that I loved the auto tune. I
yeah,
thought
I
that was
love
really
songs like
cool.
the blown out auto tune.
Share. Do you believe in
Sure, that
life
was like
after
one of the first,
enough?
yeah, one of the first, examples of that.
See,
But
okay, if that's why it's
how
rumored,
can you dust a start or something profound? I don't know.
if that's what it's rumored to be, then that's kind of interesting. I didn't know that. The way I kind of read it was, uh, you know, a commentary on the current climate of the medical
Of
world.
healthcare,
Yes, because what are we going to do? I just throw some pills at it. He'll be fine.
right?
Whatever he's
Prescribe
dealing with,
pills to
just throw
offset the
some pills
shakes,
at
to
it.
offset the
And
pills.
because later when I'm assuming is talking about the physician or the pharmacist, she never fixes this, but at least she prescribes pills to offset the shakes. That's in the
Right,
bridge. So it kind of sounds like we're not here to fix the problem. And I think a lot of people would agree with this. I mean, obviously medicine has its place, but more often than not, it just seems like a money grab for a lot of
right.
people. And I'm sure people have suffered or seen their family members suffer. So I don't know, but to have an alcoholic, I mean, I had some issues in my family,
Sure.
but when you're dealing with that, it is a tough thing. And to get off of it, you do get shakes and things and anxiety and all kinds of stuff. And so what's the first thing they do? Well, they're not going to tell you to stop drinking, or even if they do, are you going to want to? Or are you going to believe that that's the actual cause? Or are you just going to find the quick fix? So,
Right. Yeah, when I was getting better in the hospital, they did prescribe me just a crap ton
yeah.
of medication to, yeah, offset the withdrawals. They gave me another medication that would trigger something in my throat that if I drink alcohol, I would throw it immediately back up.
Hmm.
Um,
Epicat.
no, that's just throw it. No, it's not
It
epic.
always
But
makes me think of that Family Guy episode when they're just trying to
yeah,
drink
yeah.
that. So one thing I really did like about this song, especially listening on the 20th anniversary remaster, was the panning of the guitars in the chorus. Just dink, 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 dink. It kind of felt like they were dancing back and forth. I don't remember noticing that as clearly on the original master. Maybe it was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same way, but it felt cool to have that bounciness. I love it when there's kind of like a call and answer. Get it, get it.
Right. And they come like both speakers,
Yeah,
like it's spinning around you almost. Yeah, I love stuff
exactly.
like that. I didn't hear that, but I do love the at the very end, all the top positions. Like that run is cool. And just to end on that, it's kind of an odd choice, but it's clearly I think that's great. But just the melody doesn't work for me in this song. But you think I would really um kind of connect with it because of the subject matter.
Yeah, I
But
mean, but that's only a recent thing. So maybe in time that'll be something you connect more to. At the time, maybe it wasn't.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I
maybe.
I always liked this song, maybe just for the catchiness of it. It's just dancey.
Practice, I'll set the shakes.
Yeah. And then the irony of the dancey is a good segue into the next one, Time to Dance, because that one is very dancey.
No, no, no. Next, next is Camisado.
Oh, I didn't write anything down about Camisado because I have my own thoughts and I didn't write anything down.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, so the next track is Camisado, which I think is a cool. These two tracks kind of go hand in hand
mhm.
in my head, like because it's talking about doctors and IVs. But yeah, all the top physicians, the
Right.
IV,
It's the
and
same
it kind
key,
of
isn't it?
I wouldn't say it leads into it, but it definitely goes. So just for the record, Camisado is the name of a military technique,
Yep.
a surprise attack at night. It's also
Yeah.
about
I was trying to figure out how that connected to the song because I looked that up too.
yeah, I don't really get it either. But it might just be one of those things where it has nothing to do with the song.
This song is called Camisado. But I
Right.
was gonna
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
I said it's time to dance. To be fair, in the Live at Denver, which is on that 21st or 20th album, he does
I
say,
love that version.
"Are you guys ready to dance tonight?"
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
This song is called Camisado,
Camisado,
which
which
the
doesn't
way he
really
says it,
work.
it's just he's got such an interesting timbre, even in his
Um,
speaking voice. But can we just real quickly, that high note he hits,
on Live at Denver?
so good.
Hell yes.
I can't do that.
I
Yeah,
went
I
out there.
cannot do that. And the funny thing is that the very beginning of the chorus, his voice cracks really bad. It sounds like his throat is dry. And then he nails that note.
Well, I do. I think that Live at Denver is heavily edited. Like I think it's
Well, then
definitely
you'd think they'd have
melodized
fixed the
and stuff.
crack. You
Well,
would
maybe you
think.
liked it.
Well, I didn't.
It's just bananas. Even before that, I've always loved this song. Just the lyrical content and just the
I just want you to know my dog started barking when you hit that note.
yeah, most dogs do, just in general. That note excluded, they just always bark
You're
at
just
my
like, make that
annoying.
make that sound stop.
That's why nobody comes to our shows.
But
Um,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
just the lyrical content I think is just brilliant.
it's
Like
so
we're talking
good.
about gurneys, and he paints such a vivid picture with
Well,
this song in particular.
one lyric I really liked that stuck out was the anesthetic never set in, and I'm wondering where the apathy and urgency is that I phoned in or that I thought I phoned in.
Yeah,
And again, is it about his dad? I don't know. Now that you brought that up, it makes me
this
wonder.
one definitely is. Yeah,
Okay, because to me it was like this idea of he's explaining in detail the entirety of the hospital setting. Nobody's comfortable there. He even says it's not so pleasant and it's not so conventional. It sure as hell ain't normal, but we deal.
right.
Because we've all had to deal with it for one reason or another. That waiting room feeling, that just pale white walls. I mean, I'm sure what you had to go through was just uncomfortable. So vivid how he describes it. And then there's just this idea of like, all right, I'm just going to accept this apathy of it. Where is that? Why am I uncomfortable? Why am I not just okay with this? I thought that I'd just get over it. So just sit back, relax, and I'm sure you'll end up doing it again.
Yeah, sit back and then relax, relapse. That's so cool. This song does something I don't know. I think is a faux pas of songwriting, but who am I? But it repeats the first verse for the second verse. I
You've
don't
done
typically
that.
do that.
You did it on a song, right? Didn't we just talk about that? You're like,
I
I didn't
did.
realize I did
What
that.
was it?
She's everything?
She's everything.
Yeah.
She's everything does it with just a few little. I wrote that song really early, and I think that was just one of those kind of things
Okay. Well,
where
let this be the moment that shows the crack in their armor that they are in fact human and let your jealousy fade. Yeah, they were 16, 17, little toddlers when they wrote it, but imperfect toddlers.
Right. Sure.
Yeah, that's right.
But this is probably one of my favorite tracks off this album.
It's very good. Catchy, and then ba 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 da.
Oh
So good.
yeah.
So So,
Oh,
when he's talking about you're a regular decorated emergency, the bruises and contusions will remind me what you did when you wake. You've earned your place atop the ICU's Hall of Fame. Camera caught you causing a commotion on the gurney again. So it sounds like he's saying what I would guess his dad was in there for the relapse or something, and this moment of struggle where he's like, I don't want to be here, and he's fighting and he's waking up with all kinds of bruises. That'll remind me of what this is because you made another scene. But I thought it was interesting that he says you can't take the kid out of the fight, take the fight from the kid. Is he talking about himself there? Or is he talking about his dad? Is he the struggle of watching somebody else go through this? Because there are people that have had to go to Alcoholics Anonymous, but there's another thing for family members of an alcoholic called Al-Anon,
right.
who have had to experience the struggle of watching someone they love suffer. So was that a little comment about that and what it felt like to watch somebody you love suffer?
Maybe he's talking about, maybe that is talking to himself. He can't take the fight
Can't
from
take the kid from the
the
fight, take
fight
the fight from the
from the
kid.
kid. I don't know. I've never thought about that really, how it applies to the song. But I can't blow this album anymore. I think just that bridge talking about the camera caught you causing a commotion on the gurney again. Like
Now, is a gurney only for a deceased patient, or can
no,
that
no,
be
you can
anybody that's moved?
anybody like if when you watch Scrubs and they take the guy from the ambulance and put him, take him into the
Mhm.
hospital. That's just a gurney.
Right. Okay.
See who's smart now, Ryan Ross,
That's right. It took how old are you now?
28.
It's 16. I'm his age.
So yeah, this is one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine the amount of, man, I didn't know that about his dad or even the rumors. So that makes me wonder, I mean, how do you get that much lyrical content at that age unless you've seen some stuff? You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Well, what we'll learn about, especially in some more tracks coming up here, he got a lot of his influence from uh novels.
Oh, okay. So he
And
was a nerd.
yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what we do to nerds?
right. Give him a good pounding. Not not that way. Well,
Yeah,
some.
that, or I mean, whatever.
Yeah, maybe I'm into it. All right.
So,
So what I think with Time to Dance, by the way, what I think is cool about this is the way it ends. DIV in your hospital bed. This was no accident. This was a therapeutic chain of events. It just like just that little second of silence, and then, it just
yeah.
blasts you right into it.
I think it's so important for people. I mean, we try to plan out the album track listing. It does need to ebb and flow. It does need to rise and fall. Um, if you're a fan of How I Met Your Mother, Barney has the all hype mix where it just keeps going up. That's not gonna work. You need to have dips, you need to have moments of subtlety. And then I'm actually gonna get into it a little bit as we get to the latter half of the album is where you really hear it. But man, their ability to play with dynamics is something. So let's get into Time to Dance then.
Okay, so this is also based on the events of Chuck Palahniuk's novel Invisible Monsters. It's about a model who goes by many names, but we find out her name is Sharon McFarland at the end, and she ends up getting
Sounds like a monster.
her jaw shot off by a shotgun.
Okay.
Shot off by a shotgun. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah, because I struggled with this one because I was trying to figure out and piece it together. Obviously, there's a shotgun wedding situation going on here. Um, it says that fashion magazines line the walls, but the walls line the bullet holes. So there's clearly aftermath, and stuff like that going on. She's not bleeding on the ballroom floor just for the attention. Why? Because as the word you've said multiple times, it's just ridiculously odd.
Yeah. It's pretty
So
awesome.
they were definitely going to go to pretty odd. It seems inevitable. But yeah, you're pulling the trigger all wrong. I was struggling to figure it out, but go ahead.
Oh, no, it's anything. I do think it's cool. if you've seen them live, you know you can like when I say shotgun, you say wedding shotgun.
Wedding.
Yeah, then the crowd.
Yeah.
It's actually the first song I heard by them, and it is the most pop punk song out of out of their tunes.
It's also the most dancey. Wham, 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 wham.
Well, it is time.
Yeah.
It is.
Two.
And what in the last part, right before the second verse, it does that. She
Mm.
didn't choose this role,
We
which
did that in Close to Me.
close to me. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we used that. That was definitely inspired, if not completely ripped off, and close to me.
So I didn't get too much lyrically out of the song because, like I said, I was trying to kind of put myself in the situation. Knowing it's from a book helps. So now I can go, do some research on it. But this idea of boys will be boys, hiding in estrogen and wearing aubergine dreams. Um, I didn't know. I didn't know. But this idea, so if it's a shotgun wedding, right? That's clearly shotgun wedding, shotgun wedding. So clearly definitely a part of the story. What usually is the cause of that? An unwanted pregnancy,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So what would cause that? Well, there's these boys being boys, they're hiding in estrogen, they're falling in love with these girls, right? And but
You
then
you know what
ob
aubergine is? I don't.
I do.
Okay.
I'm so excited to tell you. Aubergine, eggplant,
Eggplant jeans?
dreams.
Dreams. Aubergine.
So
Okay.
so I think it was a euphemism, just the same way we use the emoji.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's what I was getting out of it. Um, cool word.
I
It
think
it just sounds so
aubergine would make a pretty name, but
right.
what it means, not quite.
Like the guys in the doctor's office, chlamydia. That'd be a pretty name for a girl. Um, so yeah, I think I can't say because I don't know what was in his mind, but to me it kind of sounds like this masked, poetic way of describing, uh, youthful lust.
Right.
Like keep it in your pants, kid. He's got
So,
these aubergine dreams. He just all he wants to do is get in her pants, and he does. Now she's pregnant, and somebody died because of it.
right. And I guess we would know better about the context of the song if we read that book.
Or
But
wrote the song.
what?
Or if we wrote the
Oh
song.
yeah, but we can't write a song this good,
I
apparently.
can't read that good.
Yeah, I was gonna say this kid read more books by the time he was 15 than I have my entire life.
Maybe that's why. So maybe you don't have anything to be jealous about. I mean, what were you doing while he was reading
Just railing a bunch of girls all the time.
in high school?
Actually, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 19, so that's a lie.
Um, yeah, I did. I was gonna say I don't think so. Well, I mean, see, for me, because I don't think this works for you. I was playing sports.
When you lost your virginity?
I was out there on the hockey rink.
Oh,
Um,
what a match.
no, but when people were reading and doing whatever, I was focusing on sports. I don't know, I mean, I think you were doing music stuff anyway, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So so that's cool. But yeah, I mean, hey, it worked and it gave us a fantastic record. So good on Ryan.
Yes.
Um, I don't have anything else to say about that one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's probably one of my favorites. After Camisado, probably my second favorite.
Well, it literally is after Camisado
Well, yeah, 100%.
or Camisado.
Camisado. Yeah. Yeah, I
So
love it. It's a great song and it's a perfect, it is the danciest song, probably on purpose to be a real like exclamation point, much like Panic.
you know what though? With what we
It's
talked
the
about,
last dance track.
you're right. You're right. Okay, because I guess you're right. There was the whole dancey first half, right? So that
Right.
makes sense.
It's
Although
20.
it's not the last song yet. There's one more before the intermission.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
But what's funny is we were talking earlier about all these, songs that have nothing to do with the content. And then finally there's a dance song and they're right on the nose. Time to dance.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I never really thought about that.
What was that about? Come on, Ryan, or whoever.
Yeah,
Somebody threw us a curveball there. We weren't ready for it. So
where's your
that
rap
takes us
that
in.
song titles now, Ross?
Yeah, 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 Mark.
Yeah,
It's always
Ross.
Mark's fault. By the way, for those of you that have heard us say that, it's always our tour manager Mark's fault. Even if it's not, yeah, Mark.
Yeah. And I was gonna say it here. Mark has
He's
been a loyal friend and tour manager and manage. He pretty much manages all of our stuff still. And
Mark
he's
is
always
such
been
a
a great
beauty.
friend. I love Mark Stampley. Just wanted to say that on
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
He's not going to hear this because he's not going to watch this, much like most of the people on the planet Earth. But Mark Stampley, I think you are a fantastic friend and a great manager.
This is a good place to say that because then you don't have to worry about him accidentally hearing it,
Yeah.
you know? Then he might actually think you care.
I could clip this, and put it on all the socials, but I
I
won't.
I could clip it and not put it in the episode.
He's not that cool yet.
Um,
Oh my God.
so let's go into lying is the most fun a girl can have without taking her clothes off.
Okay, so that quote comes from the movie Closer.
Okay.
And it is a song about,
Great line.
sure, yeah, yeah. And it's a song about cheating. And what's cool about this is not the intermission, but the next song, but it's better if you do, is connected. Did you know that?
I didn't.
So yeah, the whole thought is lying is the most fun a girl can do to take her clothes off, and then but it's better if you do. Is a content it's a thought, a full thought. But also from the
So
movie.
so he's saying you can lie, but take your
How
clothes
much
off.
out of you just do this instead?
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. There is one thing I want to mention about this song right out of the gate. And we're trying to do our best to keep this podcast clean. So if you hear us jumping around words, that's for your sake, people. We do it for you.
Right.
Also, we're just really good. So there's that. Virtue
Uh,
signaling. Um, but no, this is a song, you know, growing up as a Blink-182 fan, young, going to shows with my dad, both of us having to stand shoulder to shoulder while Tom says whatever Tom says.
yeah.
It was very uncomfortable for both of us.
Uh-huh.
The F word can be a very harsh word. It's a consonant followed by a short little vowel and two other really aggressive consonants.
Yep.
This is the most eloquent that an F-bomb has ever been dropped. It is the most beautiful. I mean, if you're gonna do it, there's no aggression to it. It's just this subtle thing, and it's perfect because this is exactly what the song is describing. It's this subtle, intimate moment. Not a good one necessarily. She's cheating, but
Right, right.
it was so delicately done, and it has even in high school, the first time I heard it, it has stuck with me since then as the best use of that word ever.
It's very subtle and he doesn't put a lot of emphasis on it. I think that's part of the genius for
The allure.
sorry,
Uh-oh.
take my
He's
camera.
he's failing.
I'm getting jealous again, so
See, this is why we need you guys to like and subscribe. Click that bell. uh, because we need money for Davey to have a better ring light. You know what? Screw it. Just buy him one. Somebody just buy him one. Send it to his house.
this ring light is fine. And I have this disco light now, dude. Come on, I'm
Bro,
crushing
do you even disco? It's perfect for panic.
it. Yeah, this song is great. Let's get these teen hearts beating faster. So
So
testosterone boys and Harlequin girls. This is
yeah,
gonna,
the imagery. But
yeah,
but the teen hearts thing I think is really cool. And I'm glad you mentioned earlier that they were toddlers when they wrote this, because what I'm about to say I would assume is about teenagers that are 18 and 19, but he was also underage when he wrote it, so maybe not. But I was also underage when I heard it, and it was the perfect thing to hear because it was exactly what every teenager, especially boys, wanted to hear. Something that got them excited, something that made them want to like oh, I might have a chance with her, you know? So
right.
what a perfect song. And like you said, the girl you were dating was in love with it. So it was already something that was getting these teen hearts beating faster because it was causing some sexual tension.
Right. I mean, the song just honestly, it sounds like it's a sexy song, man. I don't know, just the beat of it, it just
I was gonna say the same thing.
it seeps sexiness. I don't know. And
Hmm.
it does not sound like that is a child singing this song. Like
It
15,
doesn't.
16, his voice is so mature. And this isn't news. Brendan Urie is a world-renowned singer. We know that now. But just coming out the gates with like this, the song is
Yeah.
good.
So lyrically, I mean, we've already mentioned a couple of them, but I've just always love it. So I guess we're back to us. So cameraman, swing the focus. In case I lost my train of thought, where was it that we last left off? So good.
Yeah.
It's this perfect transition of okay, the chorus is over, but so's that part of the story. Now we're gonna switch back to the other part. It's just
And it's like so, and just the dramatics of it all, and like because the music there is doing banana stuff. Like the drums are going so sporadic and like just loud noises. So I guess we're back to us. So cameraman, swing the focus. I've lost a lot my train of thought. Where was the last stop?
pick up and go.
And then just going right back to like that soft beat. It's just God, I can't blow this album anymore. I think this is just incredible. I don't know how much Matt Squire has to do with all these dynamic changes and cool stuff like that.
I don't think so. I mean, maybe to some degree. I mean, he's a
Matt
good
Squire is the
producer.
producer for anyone who's
Well, yeah, he's a good producer. But for me, with like the all-time low, so wrong it's right, that was a very one-dimensional record. I love it. I wouldn't change anything about it. But like we've discussed in our own conversations, they stay on the third harmony-wise the whole time, and it's just there was no dynamic diversity in that. So I have to give credit where credit's due, at least from my vantage point. I think Panic had a lot to do with this. No beef on Matt Squire, fantastic. I would think that that came from the band.
yeah, yeah. Uh
So, plus the other thing that's really cool about this song, it came out around the same time as Gloria Sick Transit. Did I do that right? Is it Sick Gloria Transit?
oh, fantastic. Okay.
Gloria Sick Transit?
Yeah, I
Tran
think it's like transit.
yeah. Um, the brand new song that you all know. Similar vibes where there's these soft spoken kind of sing-songy things that overlap each other. Where was it
I
with
never thought
It's
about that either.
it's
Like they are very similar in that way. And they're kind of
yeah,
soft and breathy.
yeah, and it was cool. I liked that at that time. I've tried to do stuff like that in little demos that I've done, but yeah.
I can't pull it off.
Well, no, I mean, you can't pull off most things.
Ew. Um, but yeah, I mean, this song's great. Everybody, if you're not even a Panic fan, you probably know this song. And it's
Probably.
great.
Big
And
single.
yeah, we
So
go
intermission.
intermission.
What did you think about this? Like, especially the
So,
first time you heard it. Because I never
intro,
caught the fact that you said it was party up front, more
you know,
acoustic-y in the end.
I didn't know that fact about it being the album being divided. I never knew about it or thought about it until maybe like the last 5 years. I heard it somewhere and I was like, really? And then of course when I went back, they even and that blows my mind because on this intermission they do that. They tell you
Yeah,
like I'm such a moron.
because what's the first part of it? It's
Yeah.
it sounds like your room.
And then yeah, right. And
Yeah,
then it does
the radio transition.
right, but I don't know if you know this. The the talking part is taken, it's a sample
And
from
now a tapping fancy.
War of the Worlds, the radio transmission
Okay,
from
cool.
George Orwell
Yeah,
when it was on the radio.
that's rad.
Yeah, so that's from the War of the Worlds, which I thought
We
was
interrupt this broadcast. Okay. Yeah, that
right.
makes sense.
We interrupt this. Now I'm back to the dance music or whatever he says.
Right.
And then yeah, then the piano work. I've seen Brendan do this live. I've seen clips of him play this live. This is Brendan Urie playing piano. That is
That at that age.
like it's just
So
ridiculous. I don't think this gets enough credit. This is
well,
genius. Is what this is.
now let's go back to the producer thing. Because one thing that really stands out to me about this piano that I initially kind of hated, but I've grown to just really appreciate the tonal quality of this garbage honky tonk sounding upright piano. It almost sounds out of tune. It's not, but it's one of those old, just really like worn in, like you would literally hear in a saloon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So this we interrupt this, it sounds like you're almost going in a time machine to a different era, which, as we get into the big band kind of stuff is really cool. So, what a cool choice, whether that was Matt Squire or the band. I don't know if they were like, hey, this is what we got, but what a cool choice to get that just trashy kind of, when you watch like an old Western and it's got that washed color over it,
yeah,
that kind of sepia tone. That's what this audibly feels like. You
yeah.
know, it's really cool.
Yeah, and then it's doing the dun, 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 and all the kind of piano runs, and it just kind of like a
Right,
search.
James Bond.
Yeah, and
It sounds
then
like the title sequence to GoldenEye.
Yeah, yeah,
Bum,
yeah.
bum, 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 ba-na-na, bum, bum,
Right.
bum, ba-na-na, dun, gun, gun. Little chromatic walk-ups and stuff.
Then
But
doing all those, yeah,
did you
gnarly
notice,
walk.
did you notice at the very end before it starts to swirl and swell, it, and again, the time machine, almost like Oz, like you're being taken up in a tornado, a twister or something to carry off this other land. There were clashing notes that he started intentionally hitting on the piano
I think I
at
noticed that.
the
No.
very end. Yeah, it's like it starts to create this tension as the swirl comes in. He's definitely hitting like foul sounding chords. It's really cool.
Wow, I didn't hear that. I've never heard that. But I often do, unless I'm just like really dedicated to like I was today, I'll often skip the beginning track and this track just because,
I
really it's
think
not much to hear unless you're putting yourself into the, I'm gonna listen to this full album and enjoy it for what it is.
like I said, it feels it's like you're in a soundscape. You're in your own universe. You're
I was gonna say,
it's
this creates a world that you're in for like 40 minutes. And
I love that.
yeah,
I try not to skip stuff because I want that feeling. So
sure. But I do that, with like Mariana's Trench. I find their albums are really cohesive, so I like to listen to their full album. And this definitely goes in the same vein of that kind of stuff.
yeah. And we would encourage you all to do the same thing with our newest album, Second Chance, because there is if you haven't listened to it in its entirety, there is definitely an underlying theme, and there is a first half and a last half, kind of like this album, where there's a story of, what Davey was experiencing before and where he's been on the other side with the clarity. And we hope you'll enjoy that and some of the subtle nods we've given to other albums and other lyrics.
Yeah, it's true. Then the party's over is kind of like the intermission where like this is what's happened has happened, and now I'm looking forward to the future. And this, yeah,
Right.
I might have had this album just subconsciously in my
Maybe.
head of separating it in half like that. I don't know.
But how good of a lyric yours when you said, because the title of that album or that song is "The Party's Over," and it sounds like this kind of bummer, like, oh, I don't get to drink anymore, but just because what is the line?
Um, just because you're sober doesn't mean
Doesn't
the party's over.
right. So it kind of tricks you into thinking it's this party's over thing, but it just because you're sober doesn't mean that we can still party. I
And
mean,
it's,
look at him, he's got a disco ball.
yeah, for Christ's sake, Anna being like, come on.
Yeah, dude, we're coming up in the world.
Anyway,
So it takes us into it's better, but it's better if you do, which,
well, of course,
like
the
you said, is the
transition is amazing.
yes.
Going like, does that big swirl, then
Now I'm of consenting age.
yeah, yeah,
That's that one, right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So this clearly is it's pretty obvious. It's about a underage kid going to a strip club, but
No,
wishing he wasn't there
he's
because
of consenting age.
oh, that's right, you're right. Um, of consenting age, but yeah, and he doesn't want to be there, but he's just so incredibly lonely that it's kind of his last resort.
Right. This is the one where I first started listening to the lyrics and I was like, I'm gonna look these up. And this is the one that blew my mind was this song. And that's why I had to go back and listen to the other ones again to get some more notes on them because first of all, we were talking about imagery. And I was gonna say originally, without knowing his lyrics, the thing I've always felt about this band was like, what the heck are they talking about? Like, they're
Yeah,
just using cool sounding trigger words that are audibly fun to hear, but do they really have any substance or any meaning? Which goes back to, you decide for yourself, is there substance or not in that, the other song, London. But one of the lines is while he's drinking his peach and lime daiquiri. That is so descriptive. And you get mad at me when I use like really descriptive things that like nobody else can relate to or whatever. Now let's just break this down for a second because it's beautiful sounding. Who have you ever seen drink or even conceive of a peach and lime daiquiri?
I've never heard of it.
I don't think it's a thing.
Wait, is that you looked up the lyrics?
Peach and lime daiquiri.
Do that's decorate?
Daiquiri.
Daiquiri.
A
Oh
peach
wow, I've
and
been
lime daiquiri. Because
okay.
he's talking about, so what he's saying is he's sitting in this place and, it's kind of uncomfortable being in there, but, he's taking it all in. And then he says, the veteran sitting next to me is sipping on these things and he's sipping on his peach and lime daiquiri.
Okay.
Yeah. Really cool. So then, I don't want to jump over you, but just continuing with the lyrics, if you had something else, please jump in. But
No, no, no.
that's when he goes into the coolest thing I've ever heard. I didn't realize this is what he was saying. I've sang this song 1,000 times. I'm a Billy Joe fan. I'm a Green Day fan. I still have no idea what that guy says. When I sing along, I mumble the way that I hear him mumble.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what he's saying to this day. And that's pretty much how I've been with every song. So praying for love in a lap dance. So it's this, he's there because he's trying to simulate this idea of love. Like, oh, maybe I can find it here. Maybe I can find it with somebody that's willing to give it to me because nobody else is willing to give it to me. But then he's paying, not literally with just cash, although he's paying for it with his naivety.
Right.
Praying for love in a lap dance and paying in naivety because that girl doesn't care about him.
Yeah.
I mean, for anybody that's ever been to a strip club, you you're like, man, this person really cares about me. They don't. They don't.
A lot of my friends, I've only been to a strip club a few times, but they've fallen victim to that. She's like, dude, I got that stripper's number. And I'm like, well, he doesn't love you. I mean, probably not. I
Probably
mean,
not.
they might have had love at first sight. I mean, who knows? But I would assume not.
Yeah.
She probably gave you a fake number, to be honest.
They've learned how to be good at what they do, and they've learned how to give people the illusion of love because that's what a lot of people are looking for there. So I thought this was a very apropos lyric, just a beautiful display. Because if we go back to that first song, I'm just the narrator and this is just the prologue, but I aim to be your eyes.
Yeah.
I want to tell the stories that you've seen, the stories that you've experienced.
Yeah.
It's
And this
it's
is
it's cool, man.
right. And yeah, this song, like with every one of their songs, it puts you there. Like you visualize all these places. Like this puts you in a strip club, and then you know, like when the next song, you're at that wedding. You know that this cheating wife, it puts you in. He's just so good at describing it.
So while we're still on this one though, right after that chorus, praying for love in a lap dance and paying in naivety, I used to get so jazzed up because I was trying to get better at vocals and the whoa,
Hey, nailed
oh,
it.
so cool. I mean,
Yeah,
I can do it now, but at the time it was
and
how do you do that and how do you even come up with it? Like you said, at 16,
it's insane.
so good.
And then it goes silent, and then it's still silent. I'm afraid.
That I
Well, I may think it and I. Yeah, and then it's just silent the whole time. It's just a ballsy move. That's a what did he say? That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. And to
see if
go
it pays off. And then
that
he's like
long,
sitting, it's a bold move, Cotton.
let's see if it pays off.
Jumps up in
And
his
then,
chair.
yeah, just to sit in silence for that long and just let the vocals just take
But
over.
this is where the dynamics really shine, is
Right.
this latter half of the record. And I think we did that on Second Chance where there were these moments where it was still and these moments of like, power and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
it's really cool to play around with that. It,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
really creates tension and emotion. So
Love it.
yeah. Well, this is the obvious song that everybody knows.
Yeah, their biggest song, I think. Well, actually, I think This Is Gospel is their actual biggest song.
Now,
Highest charted.
yeah. But I Write Sins Not Tragedies. I to this day think that song is a masterpiece.
Yeah,
I from the first time I heard it and those plicky plickies on the pizzicato violin,
sure. And then, of course,
so good.
again, that with the track linking, the end of this song has that big outro, and then it bleeds into it. It's just like, dude, amazing. So this is from the Douglas Copeland novel Shampoo Planet. He says, "What I write are not sins. I write tragedies," is the exact quote. So the
So
more
so
we,
he's not trying to um he's not trying to glorify the sinful nature of people. He's trying to explain the experience of the downfall of such choices.
sure, that makes sense. Um, but I mean, what can you say about this song, dude? It's it just I have I like so haven't you people ever heard of closing a goddamn door? It's just like, he heard everything they said,
Heard
and
everything he
I can
said.
just imagine him bursting in. It's like, dude, will you shut up? Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, because I don't know. Maybe this is what I pictured. Somebody busts in and saying, I object.
right.
And it's like, would you just keep them out? We're trying to do this. I don't know. I don't know what the actual story was, but somebody coming in and calling out, "Hey, don't you know she's not who she says she is?" and
Right.
whatever. Um, but to me, as good as the lyrics are, because they are good, and it's the imagery again. But we could just, we're going to sound redundant on that. The cellos,
Yeah.
just these quick, and
Yeah.
then the glockenspiel, the bell kit for what most people would call these little chimey sounds.
Yeah. I put all that.
So good. This was, like I said, this was the first song that was their big single, and it sounded like nothing I'd ever heard before. And there were other bands that tried to kind of emulate this. It kind of became a fad. Um, it was untouchable. The only people that could do this right were them.
100%. And so what I've always thought was very cool about this chorus, on the first two, he says nationality, but on the third chorus, he goes with poison rationality. He sings it different, which means they didn't copy and paste that chorus, which I think is awesome because we're victims of that. We take the first chorus and just copy paste, put it on the next chorus. But he's saying it with a different inflection, which means they didn't do that. And I've always found that just as somebody who's recorded a lot of music over my life, I think that's awesome that
Yeah.
they did copy and paste that chorus.
Copy and paste the drums. That's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Make the vocal shine. No, I'm just kidding.
I could
Anytime you can have an authentic take is always going to be the better thing.
Yeah, yeah. It's not like he's
See,
out of tune or anything. Just the inflection, just
no,
you can
slightly
really.
different. Good catch. Good catch. This is my favorite part of the song. And it kind of goes back to the dynamic thing, but this is just hmm, specifically a vocal choice. I just went
He's had a
full
stroke. Yeah.
stutter there, man. When he says closing the door, no. And he just does the soft drop. Oh, that one time. No.
Yeah, that's true. That means they didn't copy and paste it again.
Right.
Yeah,
But
no.
it creates so much emotion in that one moment where it's like, ooh, almost gives you chills because it's like, wow.
Right.
And then again, that's the down chorus where everything's a little bit more chill. So when it kicks back in and he hits it again, it's much more, it explodes.
Yeah, yeah. Uh,
And boom goes the dynamite.
so yeah, then that song ends, and then I constantly thank God for
Esteban.
Esteban, which was inspired by the infomercial Esteban guitars. Remember him?
No.
I don't know. I had all the fingers and no. Okay, well, it's from an infomercial,
Well,
and
thank God for him.
this song is nice. This song is the king of dynamics. This song will throw you for a loop.
Hmm.
Like just like I'm trying to think how it goes before the chorus. Because the
This
chorus
is
wake up the band,
Well, this
whoa,
is the one where I was talking about it being bluegrassy. On
whoa.
that acoustic guitar.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's just because see, it does the Boston thing where it starts off all acoustic and at the acoustic, did I just go Canadian? And it starts off that way, and then at the end it goes full electric. And it's such a gradual change. But even when it's soft, there are these punches, these little stabs of just big band sound.
yeah, yeah. How does this?
That Frank Sinatra-y kind of thing.
Do you have the lyrics in front of you? How's this first verse go?
Yeah, give us I was just on it and now it went away. Now it's trying to mess with me. Give us come on. Esteban,
Esteban,
give us this day our daily dose of faux affliction.
the
This
giver.
idea of like, oh, woe is me, look how hard my life is. I work so it's this piety, this self-righteousness. Look how good I am.
Well, this says it's a statement about hypocrites and liars disguised as a criticism of religion. Is
Yes.
what?
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I'm talking about, which is exactly what Jesus said to his, critics. He called them whitewashed graves. Because on the outside, you're all pretty and you have this image of like clean, but inside you're full of dead man's bones.
sure,
There's nothing of value in there. And it's this idea of like, oh, I'm going to look good on the outside. I'm going to scrub myself and look clean. But really, I'm just as hateful and harmful as anybody else.
sure. Right, I get that. Um, but I'm trying to think how does that first verse end before it goes strike up the band? Because it
For
just
God's sakes, preach with conviction.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm thinking of the bridge that goes wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, just strike up the band. Whoa, the conductor is beckoning. Come, congregation, let's sing it like you mean it. And there's another one he does on the second time. Sing it like you mean it. No, like he does
Yeah,
that little
right,
run.
right.
Oh, yeah,
Now, the best thing is Now douse the
That's
lights.
the one. Yeah, that's
And then
where
it
the
just drops. So like,
really.
well, what is the imagery of that? Douse the lights. It's like the lights fall. Everything goes
Right.
silent, goes dark, and so does the music. It just collapses. You feel like literally like you're looking around and it just got thematic in that big church or whatever, this everything's all about the pageantry,
Right.
not the actual message.
And it's because, right. And it's because that line before that, just stay where I can see you douse. And like that just
Yeah.
black singing
It just
so
it
quietly.
punches you. It's so good.
We sure are. Oh, and then I love the bridge of, we sure are in for a show tonight. Oh,
It's
man.
it's these alarm stabs,
Yeah, man.
where it's kind of like this tension chord. What do you call them? Tear chords. It's
Terrible. Yeah.
it's kind of like that, where it's these. I mean, I did it in one of my 11th Alleyway songs, the Stargazing, where I wanted it to sound like a rocket was taking off. So I put these like alarmy sounding chords in there, just anything that gives that tension to the ear.
Yeah.
So cool, so cool.
I think this is my definitely top three. I would say that, yeah, this is like my third favorite. I just love the way this song, the dynamics, the douse, the
Yeah,
lot.
and I wanted to hate it when I was younger because it was so if I didn't realize it was going from dance to this other big band sound. I was just like, this album kind of fell apart. Like initially, I still loved it, but I was like, I wish it was like the other stuff. In time, I grew to really appreciate it for things like the dynamics and stuff like that. And now even more so for the lyrical content,
Yeah.
which is A plus.
Yeah, how does this one end? At least for sure tonight. Stay where I can see. Oh yeah, and the
La
line.
da 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 da.
Oh yeah, no.
No, it does do ladas though. Um, you douse the lights.
Well, I was gonna say another
Da
dynamic.
da 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 da.
Oh
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that part. Sorry, but that's not the end. Um. Oh, it ends with "Strike Up the Band."
Direct.
Don't you
Yeah.
move, strike up the band. Yeah,
But stay. What makes that dynamic thing so cool? Sorry, jumping back. I'm all over the map here.
you're fine.
Stay where I can see you down the line. Da, 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 da. And just it's so loud. He does that rise, which causes like tension as well.
Yeah.
Just, but yeah,
So this is a masterclass in musicianship
yeah.
and lyrics. I mean, just songwriting in general. But it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. This is a perfect example of write what's in your heart, write what is authentic to you, and it will catch up with people. They might not like it immediately, but if they give it a chance, they'll resonate with it. And I think, that's something that artists can be afraid of at times is that vulnerability to go outside of their comfort zone, the same three chords that somebody might know or whatever.
Well, so I think we're not giving enough credit to Spencer because you just
Oh, no, no, no.
don't.
I have that written down. The drums sound like if anybody here has seen the movie Whiplash with Miles Teller, you need to. It's incredible. You're you're not quite on my time. I'm quoting it. You'll see it. But it's about this song, which is a jazz song, and Miles Teller's playing drums on it, and he's got to nail this jazz part, and it's so much like that. The drum fill he does after that first chorus.
Oh yeah,
So Spencer deserves credit, man. This give
yeah.
credit where credit. You're right. Thank you for bringing that up. I almost
Yeah.
forgot.
And even the drums in the verses, yeah, goo goo cat goo goo cat goo 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 cat doo doo doo.
Yeah.
It's almost like people say Ringo has a specific sound. I know you don't like the Beatles, but he has a specific sound that only Ringo can do. Any drummer, for that matter. And I think
Oh,
that's true
sorry.
for Spencer. It's not you don't hear him like holy hell that's bananas that he's playing that. It's just
Right. It's subtle, but when you really listen to it and like if you're a drummer, you hear it and go, wow, there's skill there. That's
yeah.
not that's not as easy as it sounds.
Mhm.
Somebody like Carter Beauford from Dave Matthews Band, he might not sound like he's doing a lot, but he's doing a lot,
Yeah,
and
he's
he's really, really
one of the
good.
best drummers of all time, I think. I'm not the
Or
big Dave Matthews fan, but I think it's great. All right, so next up is I constantly thank God. Nope, I'm just kidding. There's a good reason these tables are labeled, honey. You just haven't thought of it yet.
well, see, what would be better is if these songs were labeled better, honey.
Right.
Because like what I was saying, you think, you hear a song title that has the hook in it and you go, "Oh, I know exactly how that song goes." So I was just telling you guys that last one sounded like Whiplash. but it's this one that sounds like Whiplash.
Yeah.
So it's the jazzy one.
And yeah, this one puts you, we said, painting pictures right into like a jazz club. And um
I
it's
mean,
just
the opening line, it really paints the scene, right? Please leave all overcoats, canes, and top hats with the doorman.
from that moment you'll be out of place and underdressed. I'm wrecking this evening already. And it just like
Yeah.
and
It-
then that cigarette is laced with nitroglycerin. It's
yeah.
just
So good. And I like that he's the one that's like ruining it. Like whoever this character is, he's the one that's like messing everything up. He's out of place, he's underdressed, he's not supposed to be there, and he's ruining this evening for everyone. Just again, it creates this
he's
really
loving every minute of it.
yeah.
It's so self-aware.
Um, and of course, that goes right into the chorus where it's, haven't you heard that I'm the new cancer? Well, what does cancer do? I mean, it destroys things, it ruins them.
Right.
So I mean, I mean, I don't want to say imagery again. Let me see if I can think of a synonym. You got a thesaurus I can borrow real quick?
Nope.
Um,
Not a good songwriter.
the eloquence of his lyricisms.
Yeah.
Lyricism? Is lyricism a word?
Okay. 100%.
All right, it is now. Um, so I mean, it just paints this really cool picture. I've never looked better as a cancer. Like I'm a cancer, but I've never looked better, and you can't stand it.
Yeah.
So
You say
cool.
so under your breath. Why is he looking so confident? That person whispers.
Hmm. So what happens as it goes from the chorus into the second verse? Well, it's just it. You can't stand it. So next is a trip to the ladies' room in vain, right?
Because you just can't keep up. I keep up.
Yeah. Again, it's the dynamics, the ups, the downs, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Fashionistas and tonight
tonight,
you
tonight,
are
you are.
a
Yeah.
whispering campaign. I bet your name is cheap. I bet to them you look like
This is the best part. Again, it kind of goes back to the F word that they used earlier. Shh. He just lets it fall off, and it's like, oh, I love that. I think it's so cool to have the opportunity to go. I mean, because look, sometimes a punchline, like if you ever know like a really good comedian, timing is everything, right? And sometimes you can set up a joke and never have to give the punchline
right.
because maybe it's too racy or maybe it's something that's just a faux pas and you don't say, but you let the audience think it. And you're like, yeah, you know where we're all going with this,
Then
but
it
you're
goes
the ones
off.
that thought it, you sickos.
Yeah.
And then this idea of I'm a diva. I
Oh,
mean,
that one.
just he almost says it with the vibrato. It's almost diva-ish, you
Right.
know?
And just the way he trails off, diva. It just kind of it
Right.
just falls.
And then the next line, oh, and the smokes in that cigarette box on the table, they just, like you said, just so happen to be laced with nitroglycerin. But like, it's kind of like you when you were talking about a shocked physician, in Second Chance.
Mhm.
I didn't know that's what you were saying at first because I know we had some different lyrics and you reworked them and did your magic to them. But one of the things that I've always found interesting about your writing style and the way you put your lyrics in there is you don't necessarily write your lyrics in a way that would flow um, in a conversation. You're making it fit a melody that you want to fit. So if a syllable ends up inflecting on this particular thing, maybe you wouldn't say, the old adage, you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable,
Yeah, yeah,
right? But in the songwriting, if you do that because the note goes up there and it goes emphasis, whatever.
yeah.
I don't do that when I write. I try to make my melodies hit the emphasis notes. If it goes up, it needs to feel like the emphasis on that syllable. Um, but it seems like he didn't do that either. And I love this. Oh, and the smokes in that cigarette box on the table. It's such an unusual line, so descriptive. And I'd never noticed it until this time going through it.
Right. And I just but this is going back a little bit, but that part in the first verse where it stops and it's like, when you're in black socks with accentuating off white pinstripes. Whoa.
Whoa. You
Yeah,
got to picture Butters, right?
oh yeah. I always stumble when I'm trying to sing along with the CD. I'm
Well,
like,
you nailed it.
it's ridiculous. And then of course the bridge, it's like
Right. And
changing.
that was the fill I was talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It's just
what a good line. I mean, I even wrote it down just because it's so just cool. Like just really, really good writing. I don't have anything else to say.
Which one?
It just doesn't
What,
feel
what,
like what?
you're saying it. Sorry, go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, it just doesn't feel like a night out with no one sizing you up. I've never been so surreptitious, so of course I'll be distracted or you'll be distracted when I spike the punch.
Yeah,
I, it, who talks like that?
yeah,
It's so cool.
way too many syllables for me to
You kind
comprehend.
of feel like you're in a novel, which is now that I know that he was getting a lot of these ideas from books and stuff, you feel like you're in some poetic scene, some poetic.
Yeah, and it says it's a take on stereotypes, wanting to be beautiful, fashion, and the quest for perfection is what.
Which we're clearly killing it at.
Yeah, just murdering it. Yeah, we're always crushing it. Yeah, the song is great. I think it paints a picture, just like a lot of the songs, especially on this last half. It paint all these songs paint their own little picture. You're in your own little world.
Yeah, but still cohesive to the rest of the album.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay, so yeah, that leads right into build God, and we will talk.
Yep. And then it doesn't even say and, just build God, then we'll talk, huh?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
first of all, I don't know if that's from something. Do you have anything on that? The title?
Oh yeah, it comes from another Chuck Palahniuk's novel, Choke.
Okay. Because I mean, what a clever thing. It's like, oh, you think you're something? Okay, well then, do this, then we'll have a conversation.
Well, yeah, this also kind of similarly to but it's better if you do, I think. It's talking about it's just about cheating and the illusion of love that comes from not that what stripping does, or I don't know
Right.
if
Well,
you
this is like
but
again,
prostitution.
right, exactly. It's going to
Yeah.
go back to that idea of imagery that I've said that stupid word 1,000 times, but you've said odd 900 times, so we're fine.
Yeah,
Um,
I do.
again, it's so illustrative. Um, you know, it's the substandard motels on the corner of Fourth and Fremont Street. I'm cutting out the la la's part, but
Yeah,
and then the best. This is just such a cool line because again, I had never caught it. Appealing only because they're just that unappealing, any practiced Catholic would cross themselves upon entering. That, like, what am I even doing here? So you already feel the shame of this girl right from the beginning, because if I've understood it correctly, this is her story that she's trying to find a way to make ends meet, and she's got no other choice. It sounds like she's a nun, and she's down on her luck, and she's trying to find a way to make a buck.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and the rooms have a hint of asbestos and formaldehyde. It's so God-forsaken descriptive. I say that a billion times, but it is, man.
Right, but how good, that idea of what you were saying, the smell, you're picturing exactly what this motel feels like for any of these arranged situations, which is already gross to begin with. I mean, it's just devious. I mean, people do it. It is what it is, and maybe that's some of the allure for people, is the cheapness of it all. But it really describes this just unpleasant situation to be in, that at least one person isn't necessarily enjoying. But the let's see if I can find the lyrics here. I know exactly what I'm looking for, and I'm struggling to find it. Uh, wow.
Well,
You go ahead then, because I can't find it.
yeah. So when you get to the bridge, I'm gonna say of course, but that's a melody straight from My Favorite Things from The Sound of Music, which I think is a cool. Did you know that?
Wait, my favorite thing's your song?
These are a few of my favorite things.
Oh, yeah, it totally is.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, but as opposed to listing stuff that that people or that person loves, is things that you don't love in this particular case. Come
Yeah,
up roaches and
yeah, that's what I'm looking for is the Roaches line. Where is that?
right.
Is that in the bridge?
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I'm struggling to find it.
Or I guess maybe the outro.
Right, because I mean, again, it's this sleazy situation. Going back into that verse, it says, or I guess it's the chorus, what a wonderful caricature of intimacy.
Yeah.
It's the synthetic simulation of love. It's not real for either party. And she's playing a part just to make sure she can get what she needs out of it, which is money. The other person's getting what they feel that they need out of it, which is fake love, or whatever level of depravity that they're chasing. Um, but tonight's tenants range from a lawyer and a virgin. Again, talking about the girl,
Yeah.
sister rising with her rosary tucked inside her lingerie. So a sister, like a nun,
Yeah.
and it's. I mean, she's got no other out here, at least as far as she can tell. So this is what she's resorted to.
Well, she's got a job at the firm come Monday, but for now, you know.
No, 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 no. I think that's about the. I thought that was about the one that's being cheated on, the other wife. But
Okay.
maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe that is what it is. Maybe she's the one that has that. Nope, you're right because it says moonlighting aside, she really needs this money.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy. And the lawyer met with her on strictly business.
Yeah.
It just
Strictly business.
again, it goes back to that first line, I aim to be your eyes. He's
Right.
he's literally a narrator telling these stories. And what kind of stories is he telling? Not sins, tragedies.
Tragedies, yeah.
It's
Wild.
unreal. 16, 17,
I
how
was
old
gonna
was it?
say that's ah,
I can't do that now.
no. A lot of us can't do that now. It's just the songwriting is just impeccable.
Yeah, but
Especially on this song.
going to the bridge, you had some thoughts there, or did you already
Oh,
kind of cover them?
raindrops on roses and girls in white dresses and singing, sleeping with roaches and taking back chances.
Sleeping with roaches. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, and before all
Taking
the
taking
things.
best guesses.
Oh, it's best guesses.
Yeah, and then the next line is the really cool one because this is a line that would normally be gross. This is something that I would have said on stage back in the day, and you'd have been like, "Ew."
Oh,
Shade of the sheets and before all the stains. These are a few of your least favorite things,
yeah,
and a few more of your least favorite things. I mean, you can almost smell it.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
A
the just that.
dirty, dirty sheet.
Ugh. Because I mean, we've all been in a hotel room before where we were like, "This is questionable." But when you're literally going for that reason, and everybody else that goes to that motel is probably going for that reason, it's just got to be this. You know, uh, to bring back up some of the scriptural stuff, we were talking about Jesus and the whitewashed graves. Similarly, this idea of you know going to this low point reminds me of everybody's heard the prodigal son story. He had his father's inheritance that he took early and then went off and squandered it, but then he's literally eating what the pigs eat. So what was considered unclean to them was something that he was eating. He was eating the unclean things food. So in the same way, she's just in this situation where it's like this isn't where she wanted to be at all. And I think that works because it's clearly talking about a religious girl and she's doing the lowest thing she could think of just to try and find a way to survive. I
Yeah,
mean, it's unfortunate, but it's a reality that some people find themselves in.
and I don't. Yeah, I totally. The end of this album. So the last thing, these are your least favorite things. I don't know if it's just something that like I pick up on, but I haven't didn't really notice it in the remaster. But the first one, things, it like ugh, that last part of ings, it just like blasts out at you. It almost peaks in a way. I don't know if that's only I'm hearing that, which that doesn't sound
I'm
like.
gonna have to go back and listen to it again because I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember. Does it really just end there, or is there a
Well, there's that.
outro-y
What I was going to
feel?
say, a cool. The last thing is like a cello that just hangs out
Oh,
slightly over the things, and then that seals up the album. And I would like if I were to rate this, I would say probably. I mean, absolutely one of my top 10, if not my
yeah.
top five favorite albums of all time. I think it's one of the few albums, not few. I probably maybe like 10 of just perfect front to back. I think it's a masterpiece. This album, man.
I think so too.
And to do that at such a young age is just it's just wild.
Yeah.
And everybody knows, Brandon Urie. So I don't know if you know. So on Pretty Odd, he wrote a few songs. Brandon didn't write like pretty much anything on this album. And you can find interviews during Pretty Odd. Brendan wrote a few songs, and Ryan and their bassist, John Walker, I think is his name, they cannot stand the songs written by Brendan on the second album, which I think are great. Like, you remind me of a former love. We talk about, that was you. It's just about knowing these famous people.
Mm.
And yeah, they didn't like the song at all, but I think clearly Brendan has shown himself to be quite a prolific songwriter
Yeah,
himself.
absolutely. I mean, he has songs like "Pray for the Wicked," you know.
Hmm.
Um, he's clearly able to do it, and his musical prowess in general is able to hold him up. He can stand on that alone. But he's finding his rhythm. You know, I mean, even for me when I was in Red Car Wire, I remember looking at Evan's songwriting approach and being a bit envious of it. But rather than allowing that to fester, it was something that I took as a tool to learn how to kind of take what I liked from that and build on it, you know? And I think I've come a long way from that. And I'm sure you've done that with things like, you know, looking at Panic stuff and going, oh, I want to take something like that and do it. Because I think I really, now that I've listened to this, I know this is one of your favorite bands. I've known that for a long time, but I think that I can really pick up on your um you're not going to sell a song short
Yeah.
with its lyrical content. You want it to be something that really has um intention and you know, power to it,
Well,
something
yeah,
that
even
really
in
speaks.
parody, I'd say, let's do something of substance.
Right.
And yeah, and there's just a little, this is off topic, but certain rules I follow. I try not to use the same word twice in a song unless a line's being like said twice. I don't like using them, but yeah, a lot of that came from this song. Hell, we even ripped off, on Close to Me, this and Are You Ready for This?
Yeah. I think a lot of bands use that.
Yeah, like Private Secrets Kids did it, I think too.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing album. Yep, 10 out of 10.
Let's give it up for Panic.
They need their flowers. So if you like this, please let us know if there's any albums that you guys, if you made it this far, congratulations. That's quite a feat. But let us know if there's any albums that you guys would like us to listen to. I'm down to find some new music and we can talk about it here on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, you know, from time to time we might pick some of those up. We're gonna challenge ourselves a little bit too. And like I said, we're gonna do some of the ones that everybody knows to keep people on board and participating. But that means this is your time. Comment what you thought, not just about what we said, but about what you thought of the album. Is this one of your favorite? Did you hate it? What did you guys think when this came out? Were you even alive yet? Some of you weren't alive. That makes me sad.
And maybe you prefer Pretty Odd. Please tell.
Maybe you preferred it when you weren't alive.
I I like Pretty Odd. I think it's an album too. But yeah, so let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any suggestions of albums that we should listen to and give our very uneducated thoughts on it.
Yeah. They're educated, just uneducatedly.
Well, that proves the point. Um,
Hey,
all
we
right.
appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys next week when we talk about you'll know soon.
Yep. So will we.
Yeah, we haven't decided. Psych.